The child of the void shall be reborn in God. This is a part of the speech while Satyavan is making advances towards Savitri. At the destined meeting place and at a given fixed moment of time, fixed by eternity, they have come together in the Shalva woods and looking at each other, they suddenly recognize their identity, and Satyavan knows that, yes, here is the person whom he would espouse as his perfect bride. He makes advances to us. He narrates his story, how he has come to live in the forest, how from his childhood he has grown up here in the company of trees and mountains and rivers and birds and animals in the grasslands, how he had identified himself with the objects of nature, how he understood the language of the flowers, of the birds, of the animals, of the river, of the tall soaring mountains. He had kind of identified himself with nature, and by that identification acquired intimate knowledge of things, to the extent that he would catch for an eternal eye a sudden kingfisher flashing into a darkling pool. You would see a swan, white swan, drifting in the quiet of the place. He would get spiritual experiences while he was living there. He would also sit with the sages of the forest, meditate with them, acquire spiritual knowledge from them. Not only acquire spiritual knowledge, he would experience the presence of the One in all. It is one divine presence which is all pervasive, which is filling everything. What he could not find was a link between that and this, between the spirit and matter. He has understood the nature of matter. He also knows the spirit, but for him until now they have remained away from each other without any connection. It cannot be so. That is what keeps on prompting him all the while. How can spirit exclude itself from matter? How can matter live without the support of the spirit? That had remained for him a puzzle all along. But then, the moment he sees Savitri, the moment he meets Savitri, he at once sees the solution for that dilemma which he was facing. He sees that the link, the connection, the bridge between the spirit and matter is none but she herself, the divine force. It is that which links the spirit and matter. And therefore, until now, the body which had been subject to the law of death had remained away from the possibilities of the immortal spirit. But now he sees that Savitri has come and body will also experience those immortal properties, immortal elements, immortal happinesses of the spirit in it. Body shall escape death and ignorance. This is what immediately recognizes in Savitri the moment he sees her. And then he says that the child of the void shall be reborn in God. You have come, the child which has come up from the void, from matter, shall be reborn again in the presence of God. God will be present here. Now, the child of the void. Who is the child of the void? Well, one can argue on metaphysical levels in various ways. But here it refers to Satyavan himself. He is the child of the void. He is the avatar who has stationed himself into the void, into the creative void. Satyavan had stationed himself as an avatar into the creative void. And it is that child who should be reborn in God. He shall now have a body which shall escape death and ignorance. The child of the void shall be reborn in God. The inconscient avatar that he was shall become now the supramental avatar in his full glory of manifestation.